I'm here with Miss Kitty, and she is the owner of this fine establishment. This is Miss Kitty's Grape Escape, and this is a very unique location here in downtown Galena. Miss Kitty, or do I just call you Kitty? Do I call you Miss Kitty? Do I address you as Miss Kitty?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll get to know each other better, and you can be
and
less
then I can
formal.
drop the miss. Okay, all right. Tell me a little bit about your place. It's a very unique venue.
Well, I really wanted to create a bar where you would feel like you came to a party at my house and you just haven't met the other guests that were invited yet. So oftentimes people will say that I am chatting up with my friends, and I'm not. They're just my new customers that I'm getting to know.
That's great.
And introducing them to the next person.
Yeah, so very welcoming. You know, I love it's a very funky feel, and I think you're a very funky lady. I mean, you're between your hair. You have a very retro style about you, and I think a lot of that's coming across through your bar as well.
I think your style comes from probably some combination of your rites of passage, where you are in that point in your life, and then what interests you right at the beginning of adulthood, and then you just sort of stay in that position. And I was lucky enough that was like punk rock.
Sure.
And college and being a mom. So that's how it looks 25 years later.
Right. You put all that into a blender and then you get this great place.
Right.
So tell me what makes you so different. I mean, your bar compared to maybe some other, there's tons of great bars and restaurants up and down Main Street. You know, what's really something that sets you apart?
People can go to a bar for a lot of different reasons, and I think that Galena does a really good job of having bars stand out in different ways.
Right.
And one of the things that our bar features that other ones don't is our extensive specialty cocktail menu and wine list.
Right.
We also do live music most days of the week. We do creative specials. We have quiz show where you buzz in and play a live game show every Sunday. We do painting classes every Sunday.
Really?
We have an all-you-can-garnish Bloody Mary bar on Saturdays. We try to make our bar the destination you are coming to when you come to Galena.
Sure.
And I hope that helps us stand out from not just another bar, but another park you might go to while you're here, not just...
Right.
Not just compared to the nightlife scene.
I get it. Speaking of specialty cocktails, this is exquisite looking.
That is my favorite.
What do we have going on here?
I call that one the Derby Sage.
The Derby Sage. What is in this guy? Wow.
So that's about a gallon of whiskey that we have specially condensed into a small glass.
Okay.
That's a joke. A bit of whiskey, bit of sugar. We prefer to use agave nectar when we sweeten cocktails.
Wow.
We throw in some egg white to give it a little more body, frothy.
A little foamy, yeah.
It feels like a more substantial mouthfeel. It helps bring out the aromas. The glass will help that as well.
Yeah.
But then the flavor for it is sage.
Sure.
And we do grow all of our herbs on site in the summer.
You grow them on site. You got them through the winter. You have through the spring. This is a very, it is incredibly herby. But also, the sweetness is, I would say, holding its own against the bourbon. I'm
Absolutely.
not a huge bourbon guy. Me and whiskey, we've gone back and forth a little bit. And it's a very nice, smooth flavor with regards to the bourbon, and then the sweetness is there to just kind of keep it in check a little bit.
Right. The sugar acts to keep the whiskey from being too hot.
Sure, yes, exactly.
Not necessarily to sweeten the cocktail.
Right.
And I think agave also helps with that versus doing raw sugar or simple syrup.
Right. And that herbiness, that sage that's lovely. Galena, Illinois, it's, I would say, a pretty unique town. It's unlike a lot of other places. I think it's a lot of other communities aspire to be somewhat like Galena. What's it like serving Galena's patrons?
I definitely enjoy it. Like a lot of people in Galena, we are all transplants here as well. And I often, I don't know if it sounds like a compliment or an insult, but everyone's interesting for 10 minutes. So if you live in a town with just a few people that you know, but every day you get to meet new people that will be interesting for at least 10 minutes,
Right.
That's a very fulfilling, stimulating evening.
How long have you been in this business?
I've been running the Grape Escape. I've owned the Grape Escape for about 15 years, 14 years now. I started a software company 22 years ago. The vacation rentals have been up for about a year. And I'm also opening a juice bar and a meal prep service business just in about 2 weeks.
Holy cow.
So
you are
I really like
an icon.
doing things to provide to other people.
I mean, you're into everything between software development. That's something I've never heard of. That's very interesting. As well as a
everybody needs a day job.
Everybody needs a day job. Oh, I guess, yeah.
We're not all lucky enough to be
Right.
Miss Kitty at night, so we have to balance it and pay our bills also.
So over your 15 years of doing this, I mean, what's been the hardest part of it?
The biggest challenge in probably all tourism, unless maybe an island may not be so
Right.
cyclical, but in Galena we do have off-season.
Right.
And really juggling finances and taking care of your employees to make sure they can still get work during off-season is...
Right.
There's always a burden to making sure your kids, your family are taken care of,
Right.
no matter what's going on in the business.
Galena is a tourist town, but I mean, also, I would say it's a fairly tight community as well. And you do a lot of work with the community itself, right?
I do. I host 4 pub crawls a year that are around specific holidays that have events that promote specific groups in the area.
Right.
For example, the Oktoberfest coming up the first Saturday in October this year is hosted by our local Lions Club, and their charter is deaf and blind support.
Okay.
So I love the Oktoberfest,
Right.
and so I put on a pub crawl the night before, and then everyone that donates, and we do big prizes, and we raise a few $100s, and we donate it back to the Lions Club. At Christmas, we donate to the Elks Club on an ugly sweater pub crawl, because the Elks Club does food baskets for those in need at Christmas.
Right.
So we try to have it tie in.
Right. And being, you are a member of that community. This is your downtown, just as much as it is for everybody else who
Absolutely.
comes in. This is where you live. This is where you work. This is where you've raised a family.
I
And
definitely believe support your community and we can all thrive.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Well, Miss Kitty, this is a great place. You're a lovely woman, and I think very unique about everything about yourself, including this great establishment.
Thank you.
And you make a wonderful cocktail.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.